deadly weekend in Saskatchewan, what RCMP say contributed to several serious and fatal crashes in our province. A Saskatoon synagogue, the victim of vandals, what happened during a weekend prayer service. And a piece of Humboldt's history set to be demolished.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. The August-long weekend has been a deadly one on Saskatchewan highways. RCMP are investigating 3 fatal crashes. And as Hallie Mandrick tells us, it comes as highway collisions are on the rise in the province.
This was the scene Tuesday morning along Highway 11 near Hanley. RCMP say a vehicle rolled into the ditch, leaving a 40-year-old man from Saskatoon who was a passenger dead. A second passenger was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It's one of 3 fatal crashes on Saskatchewan highways since the start of the long weekend. On Sunday, another rollover on the George Gordon First Nation left 3 people dead, a 42-year-old woman and 2 43-year-old men. 2 other people in the vehicle were taken to hospital. And on Saturday, a 34-year-old woman from Saskatoon died in a crash on Highway 16 northwest of Maymont. The driver was taken to hospital with injuries described as non-life-threatening. RCMP say the investigation so far suggests seatbelt use was a factor in all of the fatal crashes and alcohol in 2 of them.
It's disturbing because the seatbelt laws have been in effect since the early 70s, and alcohol as a contributing factor in 2 out of the 3 accidents, again, is a concerning factor for us.
RCMP say this weekend's fatalities are part of a troubling trend the service is seeing. In 2025, Saskatchewan saw 113 serious and fatal crashes involving drug or alcohol impairment. Superintendent St. Germain says the number of crashes between June and August of this year are up significantly from the same period last year.
They're significantly above average. I believe the percentage is close to 170% higher than the same period last year. So June 1st to today, we've had 30 fatal collisions with 38 fatalities.
SGI says July historically sees a higher number of collisions, emphasizing the importance of road safety for travelers.
That is, I guess, one of the reasons we need to remind people to follow these simple driving behaviors, slowing down, following those posted speed limits, never driving impaired, making sure they're buckling up and not driving distracted.
According to RCMP, the past 2 months account for 30 out of 54 total fatal collisions so far this year in Saskatchewan, adding that alcohol was involved in 43% of those crashes. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A 44-year-old man has been charged after a vehicle slammed into a restaurant in the University Heights area of Saskatoon. This is the aftermath of the crash at the Flats on McCormick Drive. Police say a vehicle drove into the patio before striking the building Sunday night just after 8:30. No one on the patio was injured. Responding officers say the driver showed signs of impairment and an empty bottle of alcohol was found inside the vehicle. The driver was taken to hospital to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. He has since been charged with refusing to comply with providing a breath sample. Prince Albert police are investigating the death of a 46-year-old man. His body was found in the 1200 block of Cook Drive. No other details about what happened have been released. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow, and police say they will be working on Cook Drive for the next little while, so residents can expect a police presence. 2 youth charged in the death of a woman in Prince Albert last week made their first court appearances this morning. The 16-year-old boy and 15-year-old girl were arrested on Thursday and charged with second-degree murder. They are charged in connection to the death of 27-year-old Dana Gauthier, who police say was fatally stabbed Thursday morning at about 2 o'clock on 14th Street East. The 2 teens are scheduled in court August 17th for bail hearings. Police say there are no additional suspects in this investigation. Saskatoon police are looking for a man believed to have assaulted a child over the weekend. Officers were called just after 7 o'clock on Saturday night to a park in the 100 block of Haverstock Crescent in the Aspen Ridge neighborhood. They were told 3 children were playing soccer in the park when a man joined them. Police say he then approached a 9-year-old boy who got on his bike and started to ride away. The man chased the child and hit him before taking off. Police describe the man as being about 6 feet tall, having a shaved head and large build, wearing a green shirt and dark pants. Anyone who has information on the attack should contact police. The search for a woman and a dog in the South Saskatchewan River has been suspended. On Friday, members of the Saskatoon Fire Department started searching for the pair in the water. Crews scoured the riverbank from land and by boat. The dive team also searched the water, with crews using sonar scans to help find the woman and the dog. The operation continued over the weekend, but today the fire department said despite their efforts, neither have been found and the search would be suspended pending new information. The cause of a weekend derailment of a train in Regina is under investigation. It happened just before 10 o'clock Saturday morning. Canada Pacific Kansas City says the train was moving through the rail yard when 13 cars carrying shipping containers skipped the tracks. A spokesperson for the company said the train cars made contact with an empty potash train parked on an adjacent track. No injuries were reported. Well, Jeff, it was a cooler day today, but we've rebounded a bit since yesterday.
A little bit. Well, certainly since yesterday. And the overnight was chilly. I'll get to that a little later on the broadcast. But yes, it was a crisp overnight and maybe a welcome cool down for some of the people who don't have air conditioning or the means to keep cool at night. We're keeping our eye on this cold. Speaking of cold things, this cold front is sliding down through Alberta into Saskatchewan, sparking up some inclement weather, a little active weather there. There may be there's a risk of a thunderstorm associated with this, but we're going to check the weather door and see if something's in and around Saskatoon, but we'll keep our eye on that. But other than that, temperature's going to stay on the cool side of seasonal. The details later on.
Vandalism targeting a Saskatoon synagogue over the long weekend has left its congregation shaken. Keenan Sorokon reports on the calls to denounce the attack and support the Jewish community.
It's an emotional time for our community.
It was another day of cleanup at the Congregation Agudas Israel Synagogue after someone egged the building and a number of people's cars in the parking lot during Saturday's Shabbat prayer service.
The sound is jarring when it's hitting windows and so forth, but also there were children by the window, and so children of our community were watching this happen.
Engelbert says while eggs can be cleaned up, the attack is about the fear it hopes to spread.
We worry about what is next, right? It could be a rock next time. It could be something else. And unfortunately, we've had this before.
Attacks directed at synagogues has become a worrying trend across the country recently, and faith groups were not expecting to see one happen so close to home.
I was literally sick to my stomach. I could not believe that this was happening in Saskatoon.
Other religious leaders are standing in solidarity with Agudas Israel, saying an attack on any group affects us all.
Every house of worship should be a place of peace, safety, and prayer.
Mayor Cynthia Block denounced the vandalism on social media, saying Saskatoon is strongest when we stand together in support of one another. Saskatoon police say it hasn't received an official report about this incident, but was working to contact the synagogue on Tuesday. Police Chief Cam McBride would welcome the chance to investigate this further.
We would love to hold people accountable in every circumstance because we just can't have it. We can have zero tolerance for this kind of stuff.
Engelbert says the synagogue will have a security guard working this Saturday as the congregation looks into staffing security more often moving forward. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A downtown Regina mosque has received approval to broadcast a weekly call to prayer. This comes on the heels of the mosque holding a public survey concerning the broadcast after the first attempt received online backlash. Jacob Carr has the latest.
In late July, many citizens of the Queen City took part in Regina City Jamia Masjid's survey surrounding their call to prayer broadcast. According to the mosque, they received 219 surveys, and there was a mixture of support and opposition.
Some of them, they think that we are starting call to prayer once a week, and we are ending at 5 times a day.
The Regina Police Service, who had the final say in approving the application for the broadcast, was unavailable for an interview on Tuesday, but issued a statement to CTV News saying they are required to follow the city's noise abatement bylaw. Therefore, things like public opinion and surveys are unable to be considered. Police did take into consideration length of the sound, area, area, time of day, and how loud the sound is when deciding whether to approve the call to prayer broadcast.
The issue is Islam as a religion. So that we find this problem, and that is why we are working with the other the religious leaders.
Rahman says the goal is to form a coalition with as many religious leaders in the city as possible to educate people with or without faith about freedom of religion. He also says due to feedback received about people wanting to understand what is being said in the broadcast, moving forward, the call to prayer will be translated in English after the first broadcast is said in Arabic. The police say that the permit has been issued on a week-to-week basis and that the mosque will need to reapply weekly to ensure that the request continues to fall within the bylaw requirements. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Canadian National Railway is moving ahead with plans to demolish an historic railway station in Saskatchewan. CTV's Laura Woodward on the move and the reasons behind it.
The Humboldt railway station has stood as a landmark in the community since 1905, but it's been vacant since the 80s after passenger rail service ended. About 15 years ago, the city explored options to preserve the original station, including turning it into a museum or restaurant. Mayor Rob Minch says restoration was estimated to cost $1 million.
From the city's point of view, it wasn't worthwhile to put the money in to save it at that point.
So the city put it to the public, searching for a potential private buyer.
And we had no takers.
Minch says the building has since deteriorated, with structural issues, water damage, and a rat infestation, prompting the city to ask CN to remove it.
It's just in a state of disrepair, and they put a fence up around it here recently just to keep people away because it is a safety hazard. It's literally falling down.
It's got to go. Like when I retired in 2016 there, we already had water problems. We had rats in there and stuff. It was just totally deteriorated. It's just not worth saving. It'd be nice if they could, but it's just not worth it.
And because the station has federal heritage status, CN can't just tear it down. The company has to apply to the Canadian government first. Once an application has been filed, the public has 60 days to voice opposition before any demolition can begin. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Humboldt.
A Saskatchewan senator has died. Todd Lewis was a senator, farmer, and agricultural advocate. The Speaker of the House announced his passing on Saturday afternoon, calling him a steadfast champion of Saskatchewan's ag sector. Lewis was appointed to the Senate by Justin Trudeau in February of 2025. He operated a farm near Gray for more than 40 years and was also a past president of the Agricultural Producers Association of Saskatchewan, also known as APAS. Todd Lewis was 65. Starting today, the province will cover the cost for a cystic fibrosis drug. Alyftrek helps control symptoms and aims to slow the progress of CF, which causes thick mucus to build in a patient's body, affecting the lungs and pancreas. Patients must be at least 6 years of age and meet the medical criteria to be covered for this drug. According to the Canadian Cystic Fibrosis Registry, there are close to 150 people in Saskatchewan living with the disease. The Saskatoon Fringe Festival is in full swing. For more than 3 decades, the festival has highlighted different corners of the art world through plays, musical performances, local vendors, and various other showcases. The festival features programming in W.E. Graham Park and a handful of theaters in the surrounding community. This weekend marked Broadway Days, where local vendors took over Broadway Avenue to showcase and sell their creations.
Fringe is such a weird, wacky time, which is a great chance to check out some of the amazing talent that's in our city and from our surrounding community.
The 2026 Fringe Festival runs through Saturday. Well, yesterday's cooler weather drew fewer people to the Saskatoon X. But fans were back at it today, many first in line to return for day 6 of the fair. Yesterday, 36,635 people attended the Saskatoon X. Sunday saw about 1,000 more at 37,511. But Sunday's strong wind forced the Outlaw FMX show, as well as the nightly fireworks, to be canceled, and 2 of the tallest midway rides to be temporarily canceled. But yesterday was business as usual. Gather Local Market's weekly farmers market had some special guests over the weekend. More than 40 African vendors joined the outdoor farmers market in celebration of Ankara Day. The cultural celebration aimed to showcase local food, vendors, as well as performers.
So we got fresh vegetables, of course. The carrots, oh my God. Oh gosh. And then we have Ankara Day today. So Ankara Day, we celebrate this special fabric and all that it means to the African culture. So I'm having strawberry and orange. I mean, there's amazing drinks, the food, the jollof rice, the chicken, the fried plantains. There's so much to enjoy.
Organizers say they plan to bring the event back in the fall. Still to come, the latest on efforts to secure a trade deal. Also, is the turbulence at WestJet starting to settle following a brief labor dispute? You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. WestJet flights started taking off again today after its flight attendants went on a one-day strike and caused the airline to ground its entire mainline fleet. The two sides have now struck a tentative agreement that the union members still need to ratify. But WestJet says it will take several days for the airline to fully recover as the network gets back on track. Camille Karamali now on how that is leaving Canadians in limbo, with many still scrambling to find a way home.
Camilo and Nim are part of a band and are trying to get to Seoul, South Korea, but WestJet isn't making it easy.
We got rebooked on an Air India flight that's like a 33-hour journey, like 23 hours in the air and then 10 layover. We just went to check in for that flight and we were told that we're not on it.
The airline strike lasted 30 hours, but it continues to have a ripple effect on travelers like Dan, who's stuck in Winnipeg.
Yesterday, Monday, early morning, I got a notice saying, you've been rebooked on Porter Airlines. And I went, okay, that's fine. And then I read that flight's on Friday. Yesterday was 5 days.
The CEO of WestJet says, we know this disruption has been frustrating for our guests and WestJetters, and we're sorry for that. After 1 day on the picket line, WestJet flight attendants are back on board with a tentative deal. However, for travelers here at Toronto Pearson International Airport, the headache of not knowing how their trip may be impacted is almost as frustrating as if the strike was ongoing.
It's really not a good impression for the customers. You have a lot of plans, hotels, Airbnbs and car rentals booked, and it's a ripple effect on your trip.
According to aviation analytics company Cirium, 925 WestJet flights have been canceled since August 1st. Today, that number is 16. For those who are still waiting to be rebooked, advocates advise to research your rights.
If WestJet is leaving you in a limbo, then you have every right as a passenger to buy yourself a ticket on a different airline on the assumption that WestJet is not fulfilling its obligations, and then bill WestJet for the expense.
And remember this group heading to South Korea? Well, they've been rebooked again on a different airline for tomorrow.
We luckily will make it for our first tour date in Korea thanks to the hard work of WestJet. So we're going on a direct flight now with Air Canada tomorrow.
Raheem Ladani, CTV News, Toronto.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is back in Washington today for fresh talks with his counterpart. Even with the threat of more Trump tariffs in less than 2 weeks, the two sides remain far apart. With more, here is Joy Melvin.
Canada's trade team posted this the last time around, proof of their meeting with U.S. Trade Ambassador Jameson Greer. The talk so urgent, so sensitive, the Canadian delegation put out a statement saying they're back in Washington to talk some more.
We're in a hard set of talks right now. I certainly understand why Minister LeBlanc and Chief Negotiator Charette and Ambassador Wiseman are being very, very discreet and very cautious about what they say and do publicly. This administration has been mercurial. It is unpredictable at the best of times.
These talks unfolding against President Donald Trump's latest pressure tactic.
Mexico and Canada need us. We don't need them. The deal is important for them. It's not important for us.
As the clock ticks down to yet another Trump tariff, a threatened 50% aimed at Canadian goods, $20 billion in exports at risk starting August 19th. Retaliation, Washington says, for what it calls discriminatory Canadian treatment of U.S. goods. But having seen his fair share of hardball trade negotiations, former Finance Minister Ralph Goodale remains optimistic.
We're in the top 3 markets in the world for 47 of the American states. So obviously, despite the bluster, despite the arguments to the contrary on the American side, Canada is very critically important to the Americans.
Neither side, it seems, wants to blink first, and with little evidence of a breakthrough, at least the two sides are still talking. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
6 wildfires started in BC in the last 24 hours. That brings the total number of active blazes to 122. 54 of them are out of control. Near Vernon, about 230 homes have been destroyed, 30 of them belonging to the Okanagan Indian Band. Provincial officials say fire activity is expected to increase this week as hot and dry conditions return. Across the border, a 37-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of deliberately starting one of 3 blazes in and around Spokane, Washington. The flames have destroyed more than 700 houses and other buildings, forcing 64,000 people to evacuate. The blazes together are ranked as the top firefighting priority in the U.S. as a whole. Part of a SpaceX rocket is scheduled to crash into the moon early tomorrow morning. The Falcon 9 rocket lifted off in January of 2025, carrying 2 lunar landers. One soft landed on the moon, the other one failed to touch down. Now the rocket's second stage is set to slam into the lunar surface at 2:35 a.m. Scientists estimate the collision will create a crater with a diameter of 20 to 30 meters. A mixture of solar activity and gravity forces have put the upper state on a path toward the moon.
Hello, my name is Kevin Kermack, and I'm here with the Saskatoon Fringe Show, Storytelling Alive. So you can go to the Fringe box office and get your tickets, no matter if it's a cloudy day, if it's rainy, or if it's bright and sunny. We would love for you to come join us, because here at Storytelling Alive, we tell our stories through drawings and through puppets. Ooh, I wonder what the weather will be like that day.
Well, Wrinkles, I think that's the name on your tag. Wrinkles, I can tell you that Storytelling Alive has one more show left, and that's coming up on Saturday. So let's check out Saturday's weather, and it looks pretty good. 24 degrees, it's just a little bit below seasonal, but mainly cloudy skies. Of course, you'll be indoors at the Cosmos Center. That's just around the corner from the Broadway Theater. 1:30 is the start time for Storytelling Alive. That's on Saturday, the last show for this particular production at the Fringe. And the Fringe has stuff for everyone, including the younger set. So there you go. 24 degrees, as I mentioned, mainly cloudy skies, and 25thstreettheater.org is where you go for more information. Now on to our almanac. Well, today in Saskatoon, with our current conditions, 20 degrees in Saskatoon right now, winds out of the northwest 11, 21 in Prince Albert, and just 17 right now in the Battlefords. Not particularly windy in the Battlefords, a little breezier in Prince Albert, and a little bit of a wind in Saskatoon. Now the almanac. Today's high, 22 degrees, so again, about 4 degrees below seasonal. 36, that was the record warm temperature. That was set in 1925, and the cold temperature record almost 25 years ago, it was 0 degrees. Ouch, that's cold. And the sun came up at 5:32, and it's going to go down rather at 8:52.
Coming up, preserving a piece of Saskatchewan. A look at one man's efforts to tell stories for generations to come.
renovations are underway at one of Saskatchewan's busiest airports. Wednesday on Your Morning, we're going behind the scenes at YQR to show you the space they found and what they're doing with it.
All right, let's take a look through the live lens of Skycam. So I checked the weather door, and a little bit of dark clouds out there right now, but they don't seem ominous at this point. So if we do get any rain right now, the forecast is for that to be happening after midnight, possibility of some showers and thunderstorms. But right now, it doesn't look like it's impending at the moment. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on here. As I mentioned, there's that cold front, and it extends down to Saskatoon, but it's not impactful, at least not in this moment. So we're not seeing a lot in the way of active weather in the form of rain. And of course, these blobs down here with near the radar sites, it's just the radar being faked out by the heat. Although it's not that hot today, so there you go. Anyhow, let's take a look and see what we've got going on. Current temperatures, just to recap: 20 in Saskatoon, 21 in Prince Albert, and 7. Oh, technically speaking, some rain is falling at the airport now, so the icon just changed. So Maple Creek, the hot spot in the province, 26 degrees. Val-Marie, 1 degree. Nothing going on in terms of rain in downtown Saskatoon, though. 21 degrees in Lloydminster, 23 in Swift Current right now. The same for Moose Jaw and Regina, 20 in Yorkton, and 21 in Estevan. Into central parts of the province, temperatures ranging from 16 degrees in Spiritwood. It's likely they had a little bit of rain in the area. 24 in Kindersley, 25 in Rosetown. And as we make our way towards the eastern side of the province, temperatures hanging around that 20-degree mark. Up north, well, temperatures hanging around the 20-degree mark there. It gets as warm as 21, or rather 22 in La Ronge. It's 21 in Key Lake and Buffalo Narrows. And down south, well, 25 degrees in Maple Creek, still quite warm there. 24 in Elbow. Again, as we migrate to the eastern side of the province, temperatures do drop off, but not significantly so. 20 degrees in Melville and Broadview, 21 in Carlisle. Quick look at our futurecast, and as you can see, that computer showing the storm sort of, or at least the active weather swooping through, and then some isolated showers on the backhand side of that system, so we could see a little something tomorrow afternoon as well. Showers expected in Stony Rapids and Key Lake tomorrow. Temperatures of 15 in those locations. Warmer in La Ronge and Buffalo Narrows. Mainly cloudy, and temperatures in the low to mid-20s for west central Saskatchewan. For the most part, mainly cloudy in the southwest. A bit more sunshine in Leader. Temperatures around 26 degrees. Similar temperature pattern for most of the southeastern part of the province. A little cooler in Yorkton, and possibility of some showers in Melfort and Hudson Bay on Wednesday. Prince Albert, or the Battleford's dropping down to 13 tonight, 23 degrees tomorrow, and then the long-range forecast sort of hovering around that 21 or 22 degree mark. Sunday, a chance of showers, but it's a slight chance. Prince Albert, 12 degrees overnight, chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm, mainly cloudy skies on Wednesday, and then we've also got temperatures, for the most part, with the exception of Thursday, hanging around that 21 or 22 degree mark. And Saskatoon, chance of some showers, risk of a thunderstorm, but that's after midnight. 24 degrees with mainly cloudy skies tomorrow. And the 7-day outlook, 18 degrees on Thursday. Then from Friday through Tuesday, basically around 23 degrees.
I'm sorry, but you're in danger. You just have to trust me. Fine.
Wallop and Web Snappers. The newest Spider-Man movie swung into theaters this weekend, breaking box office records. According to Sony Pictures, Spider-Man Brand New Day broke the Avengers Endgame record for the biggest North American opening weekend, with $360 million in ticket sales from theaters in the U.S. and Canada. On Sunday, Sony predicted that Spider-Man would net an estimated $355 million U.S. in its first weekend, playing in 4,000, well, let's say it's almost 5,000 theaters, just barely missing the 2019 Avengers Endgame record of $357 million. But the fourth Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland had a stronger than expected Sunday and ultimately came in ahead. Then again, numbers are not adjusted for inflation. Ariana Grande says she's taking a break from the spotlight. The 33-year-old says she's taking a break following what's been described as the endless, intense scrutiny she faces. The news comes amid renewed speculation about her thinness and health. The pop star had just released a music video for her latest single, Petal, which showed her always petite frame ridged with shadows of bones against her chest, sparking concern and alarm. Grande says her plan to take a breather has been planned for a while and will happen after she completes the Eternal Sunshine Tour. Clueless, a sequel series with Alicia Silverstone, is now in the works. The original film was first released in 1995. Silverstone is back reprising her role as the iconic Cher Horowitz for a six-episode run. The new show reportedly will catch up with Cher nearly 30 years after the wild events of the original film.
All right, Jeff, the picks of the day have been rolling in all long weekend long. What did you decide?
Well, we had to narrow it down to 3, but we'll get you these ones. We'll let you see this one. This one comes to us from Betty, and Betty writes, a little smoke makes for a beautiful sunset over Last Mountain Lake, or as we called it growing up there, Long Lake. Lovely shot there, Betty. Thank you. Next from Penny, and this photo was taken on Sunday. Penny says, what could be more iconic? Saskatchewan wheat pool in Hepburn. And I love the juxtaposition of those two things. And from Beverly in the Prince Albert area, Beverly tells us, this is Tuesday along the Rotary Trail on the south side of the city. That is a lovely shot as well. So thank you to all of the people who sent in the pictures. And if you'd like to send an image our way, you can send it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca, or you can scan the QR code on the screen, and that will help get your pictures to us.
Still to come on CTV News, a story to tell about Saskatchewan, how one man hopes to bridge the gap between past and future generations.
Your Morning Minute, presented by Sask Oil Seeds.
Well, joined by the Dairy family and Derek, who is the chief, and Ashley Stone here, talking all about what?
Saskatchewan Open Farm Days.
And what is that?
It is an opportunity for people to come out and experience agriculture and culinary experiences across Saskatchewan on August 8th and 9th.
Fantastic. Now, 16 Grains, which is your farm, Derek, one of the locations. What will people see here?
We'll open up our modern grain farm. You'll have the opportunity to stand beside the equipment, walk the fields, and talk to a local farmer.
Perfect. It's going to be fantastic all across the province. Open Farm Days, Saskatchewan. Of course, you can watch CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan live Monday to Friday on CTV and Crave.
A Saskatchewan man is working to share the history of bridges in the province. As Hallie Mandrick tells us, he hopes his efforts can tell those stories for years to come.
Scott Warniuk has been learning about Saskatchewan landmarks from a young age, thanks to his father, who was always keen to turn road trips into history lessons.
It was about the smaller, little-known stories, and every time we would travel somewhere, he had, something to say, and these bridges just naturally fell into that category, especially now that they're all disappearing.
Warniuk is now in the process of sharing the story of Saskatchewan's bowstring bridges through a documentary. Through his research, Warniuk found that Saskatchewan had 97 bowstring bridges at one point in time, but now 18 remain in use, with another 19 still standing, but no longer in service, like the Borden Bridge.
My hope is not only will people enjoy watching and learning about them, but at some point, my work might be able to be used as a reference for somebody looking 30, 40, 50, 70 years.
Warniuk has spent the past 3 years traveling more than 3,600 kilometers to document all of the remaining bowstring bridges in the province. He says, while the architectural side of the story is an interesting one, the most meaningful part of the process has been hearing from those who have special memories about the unique infrastructure.
Oh, I remember that when we crossed over this bridge by this town, it meant we were getting close to Grandma and Grandpa's. I remember we used to go berry picking by this bridge, and it wasn't so much infrastructure, it was to the memories that came out of it.
The Last Bowstrings, the story of Saskatchewan's historic bowstring bridges, is set to be completed and shared on Warniuk's YouTube page in 3 parts this fall. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, near Borden.
When we come back, we take you to a digital form of Back to Batoche, and later police look for a sudsy suspect.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Northern Lights Bluegrass Camp and Festival takes place August 10th to 16th at the Nest Creek Festival site near Big River. The Saskatchewan Baseball Hall of Fame will be celebrating its 41st annual induction in Battleford on Saturday, August 15th. For tickets, please contact the Hall of Fame. You can submit your community event by visiting our website and clicking on Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen. Okay, let's take a look at tomorrow's forecast around the rural communities in our province. 21 degrees in Meadow Lake and Spiritwood, 22 for Lloydminster, 25 for Kindersley, the same for Outlook. Chance of some showers in Melfort and Hudson Bay, some of those lingering showers that we saw on the Futurecast there. It also includes Wynyard, and all three locations expected to hit 21 for a high. And then down south, we've got ourselves temperatures that are in the high 20s in some locations. That's Leader, Maple Creek, and Coronac at 27. Otherwise, basically around 25 degrees. A little cooler towards the eastern side of the province. And how about Pierceland? Pierceland towards the western side of the province near Meadow Lake Provincial Park. Pierceland, mainly cloudy skies, 21 degrees tomorrow, but it's going to be a windy day in the Pierceland area, and keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that Pierceland is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
Greetings, everyone. Video games are an interactive way to explore virtual worlds, make friends, and even learn something new. The Back to Batoche Festival may be over for this year, but visitors can still tour the grounds through a gaming program. CTV's Laura Woodward shows us how the Métis culture is taking center screen.
Hello and welcome to Batoche.
This is the virtual version of Back to Batoche, the Saskatchewan festival celebrating Métis culture, history, and identity. Masquad Games in Métis Nation, Saskatchewan replicated the festival inside Roblox, an online gaming platform filled with virtual worlds.
Batoche became a central point of Louis Riel's provisional government.
The experience walks players through the importance of the Battle of Batoche before letting them explore festival grounds. And to 8-year-old Callie, it's pretty realistic.
Yeah, you see like food trucks and the bouncy castle and the slides. It's very cool.
Players can race chariots, throw axes, and even pet a bison, all while unlocking words in Michif, a language few Métis people know how to speak.
We just wanted to have something that not only celebrated the Métis culture, but also gets people to learn Michif as well.
Les amis. And this virtual Batoche is just the starting point. Members of Métis Nation Saskatchewan, some who have never built a video game, will be trained to help expand the world.
Well, right now there's a very low percentage of Indigenous people overall in technologies and games. It's less than 1%. And we belong in the space and we have different stories, and I think it's a good start just by getting people to build.
You gotta press these buttons. Okay, I'm riding on a horse right now.
And the early reviews are in.
It's very fun. That's what I think of it.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Batoche.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
Team Quebec is the 19U women's baseball champions this year. Saskatoon's Cairns Field hosted teams from across Canada last week, with the championship wrapping up on Sunday. Quebec beat Ontario 10-0 in the final to win gold. Saskatchewan picked up bronze with a 15-5 win over Alberta. Brady Birdshaw won Top Hitter Award, scoring 12 runs along the way. Organizers say they are excited about the way the game continues to grow.
Here in Saskatoon, we've had a girls' baseball zone for about 12 years now, and every year it keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So we want to put on these events so we can, grow the game in the province, and here in Saskatoon, let the young female baseball players look up to these girls that are playing now and see what's possible.
Saskatoon is also slated to host the tournament next year. Riders short yardage quarterback Tommy Stevens says he's embracing his job, one he continues to excel at. Donovan Mace has more.
When Tommy Stevens scores a touchdown, he buys his offensive line a box of donuts.
Tommy's got two! He's a cheat code.
And this week, the tab is running up after he found the end zone 3 times on Saturday.
I owe them an extra box now, so they didn't get theirs today, but they'll have it tomorrow.
When he steps on the field, the crash of glass and the famous line, "I won't do what you tell me," plays from the Mosaic Stadium loudspeakers. Stone Cold Steve Austin's theme music, no sound an opponent wants to hear.
As a big wrestling guy myself, I loved WWE growing up. And I was like, well, who has a better theme song than Stone Cold Steve Austin? So I asked, and I was like, yeah, kind of fits the Pilsner vibe, I would say. And so I thought people might like it.
The short yardage specialist embodies a Stone Cold mentality.
Tommy Stevens has it. He's going to push it ahead.
Nearly automatic anytime the Riders are in need of a first down or a score close to the end zone.
It means a lot to me because I've always kind of seen that for myself. It's always been something that I've believed that I can do, but I didn't always get those opportunities.
Even coming in as a closer.
Tommy again following AJLN right towards the end zone. Get out of his way!
Putting the final nails in opponents late in ball games.
Having that extra, Swiss Army knife in our backpack is something that if you have, you use it. And we're thankful that Tommy's able to go out there and get it done.
We have confidence, no doubt, in his ability to do that, as well as the other guys up front. But you have confidence guys do their job.
And Stevens' donut expenses continue to grow as he leads the CFL in rushing touchdowns with 8.
It really just comes down to the trust from the coaching staff, being able to put me in that position to do it, and then it always starts up front. The guys up front have to start the process of me getting those yards. If they aren't doing their job, I'm not going to get anywhere.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Canada's trade surplus was bigger in June, hitting $3.9 billion. Morella Fernandez has more.
It was the 4th straight month that Canada reported a trade surplus. Statistics Canada says total exports hit $77.5 billion in June, with a 16.5% jump in minerals and metals exports. Strength was in gold. But the country exported 10% less energy. Canada imported 59% more computers and computer parts used in data centers. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.09 US. West Texas Intermediate down over $4 to 75.77 US a barrel. Western Canadian Select is up to 66.38. And the TSX shot up 575 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon is just under $1.72 a liter. The lowest price in town, $1.52.8. On Saskatchewan markets, Camco jumped $10 today, and Nutrien finished the day at $94.21. Coming up, a colorful burst of celebration in Bolivia. Then the bubbly bandit police are looking for.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us. We've got another night of great shows for you right here tonight on CTV. Well, tens of thousands of people gathered in Bolivia over the weekend. They were there to take part in one of the country's largest cultural celebrations. 87,000 dancers took part in this parade. Attendees celebrated the event in colorful and elaborate outfits. The festival blends Catholic and Indigenous traditions, with attendees from neighboring countries like Peru and Chile taking part. Lots of color in that.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, residents in Duluth, Minnesota woke up to a soapy surprise over the weekend. What was likely meant as a prank has bubbled over into a police investigation as authorities search for whoever poured soap into this public fountain. The city plumber was called in to shut it off. But the kids are having fun.
There you go. There's the silver lining.
Right? And it's all blowing away anyway.
Exactly.
So
all right.
No?
It's like sea foam.
It is, kind of.
Sea foam in Minnesota.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, well, let's move on to our weather situation. Yes, we did have some rain move through downtown Saskatoon. It came and it went, and now it's on its way out. But What's going to be the situation tomorrow? Well, we've got ourselves 17 degrees at 9 a.m. and then the wind starts to pick up around 9, and then it stays pretty much breezy until the latter part of the afternoon, and then starts to die off between 5 and 6.
Use your extra strong hairspray.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching.
Aquanet.